Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape lately, especially in the NFC East, you know that things are heating up. Rumors are swirling about some major shakeups, and one of the most talked about scenarios involves the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants. It's a blockbuster idea, one that could totally reshape how the Giants approach their offense in the coming seasons. And honestly, it might be one of the most exciting possibilities we've seen in a while. So, let's break it down, step by step, because what's being whispered around league circles could be a game-changer for Big Blue. The buzz centers around Tyreek Hill, the lightning-fast wide receiver from Miami. Now Hill has been a game-breaker since he entered the league, and his speed alone makes him one of the most electrifying players in the NFL today. This season, he's been putting up impressive numbers, 85 receptions for 50 yards and 7 touchdowns in just 12 games. His PFF grade of 90. 5 tells you everything about how dominant he's been, and his EPA per target of 0. 34 indicates he's a huge threat every time he lines up. Plus, his yards after catch average of 6. 5 yards shows he's not just fast, he's explosive once he gets the ball in his hands, forcing defenses to account for his speed constantly. Hill has also forced 14 missed tackles this season, which speaks volumes about his ability to break tackles and create extra yardage on plays. Looking at his career, Hill has accumulated 578 receptions, over 200 receiving yards, and 65 touchdowns. His average of nearly 89 yards per game over his career is nothing short of remarkable, and his ability to stretch the field is legendary. His deep routes, especially those 20-plus yard plays, have been a nightmare for defenses. In fact, Hill's history with the Dolphins in 2022 saw him rack up plus 280 yards through the air, and his career totals include plenty of highlight reel catches that make him a true game changer. But here's the twist. Sources whisper that the Dolphins, who are currently sitting at a 5-8 record with a cap space around $20 million, might be considering a rebuild. Their offense has been struggling, averaging only about 220 passing yards per game, and they've been battling with offensive line issues. With Tua Tagovailoa's health and consistency being a bit shaky, Miami is reportedly open to exploring trades, especially if it means freeing up cap space and acquiring draft picks or prospects to bolster their rebuild. The idea here is that Miami would be willing to trade Hill in exchange for draft picks and maybe a promising receiver prospect, which would help them focus on their long-term rebuild. Now, if you're thinking, wait, why would the Dolphins do that? It's because they see the bigger picture. They're aware that losing Hill would be a hit. They're losing their speedster, their X-factor. But they're also looking at the big picture, trying to build a more sustainable team. Trading Hill would free up a hefty $31 million in cap space, which they could then redirect toward bolstering their offensive line, something they've struggled with all season. They'd also get draft capital, which is crucial for a team trying to rebuild from the ground up. It's a tough call, but in the NFL, sometimes you have to make bold moves to reset and rebuild faster. Now, let's shift gears to the Giants. Right now, Big Blue is sitting at 2-11, and their passing game has been pretty lackluster, especially in the air. Without Neighbors, who was lost for the season due to a concussion, the Giants' aerial attack has been pretty limited, averaging just about 180 yards per game through the air. That's where a player like Tyreek Hill could be a total game changer. Imagine adding a speedster of Hill's caliber to Daniel Jones's arsenal. It would give the Giants a true deep threat, stretching the field and forcing defenses to respect the vertical passing game. And the numbers back that up. If Hill were to be added, his recent stats suggest he could boost the Giants' passing offense significantly. For example, if you compare Hill's production to what the Giants have been doing, he could add around plus 17% to EPA per pass and plus 2 yards per route versus current options like Darius Slayton, who has a PFF grade of 76. 8. Hill's presence would create more space for Slayton and others underneath, balancing out the attack. Not to mention his history with the Dolphins in 2022, where he racked up plus 280 yards through the air, shows he's capable of elevating any offense he joins. Look, the Giants are already a team that's been fighting to find offensive consistency, and adding a player like Hill could be the spark they need. His ability to make plays downfield, especially on plays over 20 yards, would turn the Giants' offense into a true threat. Considering his career total of 65 touchdowns, many of those coming on long bombs, Hill could transform Big Blue into a more explosive, unpredictable team. He would be the perfect complement to Daniel Jones, especially as the Giants look to maximize their offensive potential for the postseason or the future. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. Betting odds for the Super Bowl LXI have already shifted significantly. Before, they were as high as plus 50, meaning nobody really believed the Giants would be contenders. But with a potential move for Hill, those odds could drop dramatically, perhaps to plus 17, or even lower, since Hill is a proven playoff weapon. His speed and playmaking ability in high-stakes games have been demonstrated time and again, especially during his time with the Chiefs, where he helped elevate their offense to new heights. In 2019, when the Chiefs won Super Bowl LIV, Hill played a pivotal role, and his presence on the field stretched defenses to their breaking point. Adding Hill to the Giants' roster would be like giving Daniel Jones a cheat code, a player who can create big plays out of nowhere and force defenses to stay honest. And with the Giants already showing some flashes of promise this season, especially on defense and in their running game, a weapon like Hill could be the missing piece to push them over the edge. The Giants have been building steadily under Brian Daboll, and this kind of move could be the final piece that transforms them from a good team into a legitimate playoff contender with Super Bowl aspirations. Now, all of this is speculative, of course. The NFL trade deadline is always buzzing with surprises, and although nothing is confirmed yet, the signs point towards some bold moves ahead. For the Giants faithful, it's exciting to imagine what a player like Hill could mean for our offense, an offense that has struggled at times but has shown potential. The addition of a deep threat who can take the top off defenses would open up so many options for Daniel Jones and the rest of the offense, making them more unpredictable and dangerous. In conclusion, this potential trade, if it happens, would be a game changer for the Giants. Hill's speed, explosiveness, and ability to change the course of a game could redefine what Big Blue is capable of offensively. It's the kind of move that could elevate the team's entire dynamic, giving the Giants a legitimate chance to make a deep playoff run and maybe even contend for a Super Bowl in the near future. Of course, the NFL is a business, and teams weigh their options carefully, but if the rumors are true, Giants fans should be excited. This could be the start of a new chapter, one filled with speed, excitement, and the kind of plays that make you jump out of your seat. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Giants should go all in on a trade for Tyreek Hill? Would you be excited to see him in the blue? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Giants news. Whether it's rumors, trades, or game breakdowns, we're here to keep you in the loop. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory. And with moves like these potentially on the horizon, the future looks bright for Big Blue. Keep the faith, stay loud, and let's keep pushing forward because, with a little luck and some bold decisions, the Giants could be right back in the mix for that elusive Super Bowl ring.